A former youth worker accused of sexually assaulting boys over 2 decades has told the court he never took advantage of anyone in his care. Henry Day, who was awarded the MBE for his work with young people, is alleged to have carried out the abuse at a camp he set up on the Norfolk coast.
4 weeks into the trial, Henry, or Harry Day as he's known, faced a day of searching questions by the prosecution. He denies sexually abusing 8 teenage boys between 1973 and 1995. It's alleged that he took advantage of them at a summer camp he ran here at Hemsby on the Norfolk coast. Barrister Andrew Shaw repeatedly put it to Mr Day that he assaulted boys in his caravan, on a minibus and at a local swimming pool, that he sometimes used alcohol and bribed them with money and gifts. Each time Mr Day answered, "No way," or "I did not." Harry Day set up his Young Citizens Guild in Essex in the 50s. He then moved it to the site near Great Yarmouth in 1972. There, youngsters would learn to become model citizens by helping the public and local emergency services. He was awarded the British Empire Medal and the MBE for his voluntary work. He was both respected and well-connected. The court was told that the 70-year-old touched boys inappropriately and encouraged others to perform sexual acts. "Why would you do that to a child?" asked the prosecution, and all the while you gently remind them of how well-connected you were. Mr Day replied, "There was no abuse. There's never been any abuse." It's suggested that the alleged victims, now in their 30s and 40s, may have colluded with each other against Mr Day. He denies all the charges. The case continues. Alex Dunlop, BBC Look East, Norwich Crown Court.
More than 40 science jobs are going at the Institute of Food Research in Norwich to meet a shortfall of £1.5 million brought on by increased costs and a cut in funding. The union Prospect has condemned the cuts. Armed robbers have threatened a family from Beccles in their own home. 2 men forced their way into the property yesterday morning and threatened the family with handguns. 1 person was injured and the raiders escaped with a quantity of cash.
Disrespectful and an idiot. That's what Roy Keane, the manager of Ipswich Town, has branded a thief who stole football shirts that were left as part of a tribute to Sir Bobby Robson. The strips were left outside Portman Road along with scarves and flowers after Sir Bobby's death at the end of last month.
Sir Bobby Robson is an Ipswich Town legend, and even 2 weeks after his death, town fans are still visiting Portman Road to pay their respects. But one person came here on Monday evening and took a number of items from the railings.
No, listen, that's always disappointing, and but unfortunately in all walks of life you get 1 or 2 idiots around, you know, and obviously disrespectful to people who left the stuff there, to Sir Bobby, but let's remember the thousands of people who paid the good respects, and I don't think we should focus on 1 or 2 clowns.
On the scarves and shirts are countless messages from Ipswich Town fans which showed just what Sir Bobby Robson meant to them. People I spoke to couldn't work out why anyone would want to steal the tributes.
I'm shocked. I'm just overwhelmed. I've come down here with my boy just to have a look at the flags and the tributes, which are amazing. Why would anybody want to steal a shirt or a boot or a scarf for someone as great as Bobby Robson? It just baffles me, really.
It's very sad because obviously people have left shirts and scarves that probably mean a lot to them as well through the years of supporting Ipswich. So it's very sad if that's the case, yeah, very sad.
Suffolk police are appealing for witnesses and have called the thefts callous. In a statement, they say people have put things down in remembrance. It's the same as taking something from a grave. Mike Liggins, BBC Look East, Portman Road.
A date has been set for an inquest into the death of a scientist 7 years after he was killed by an explosion near Southend. Terry Jupp was badly burnt in the blast in October 2002 at the MOD weapons testing site at Foulness Island. He died 6 days later. The MOD says a series of criminal and civil investigations were responsible for the inquest delay. Latest figures show the number of people being diagnosed with swine flu in the region has continued to decline over the last week. 10,000 people were offered antivirals, almost half last week's number. There have been no more deaths in the region.
More than 100 postal workers have been on strike in Balsdon today. They walked out as part of a national campaign by the Communication Workers Union. They claim more than 40 jobs are under threat in the area.
Workers on strike here in Basildon claim Royal Mail has a jaded view of modernisation. Around 50 joined the picket line this morning. They say with new technology coming into the workplace, they want an agreement that will protect their jobs.
This really is the last resort for postmen and postwomen up and down this country. They're decent working class people that want to defend not only their terms and conditions, but they want to defend a very, very good public service that we currently provide. So, of course, we regret the action, but I would put that firmly and squarely at the door of Royal Mail to talk to the trade union on a national basis.
And as the protest continued, it became clear the dispute is becoming increasingly bitter.
You have took the decision now to start defending yourselves against an employer that I have never known such hostility from.
We're all prepared for this for the long run. We're just not prepared to be told what we're going to do. We'd much rather agree it and all go forward together.
The mood is like, will you have a job tomorrow? And am I one of those who will be going?
We're being asked to do perform tasks that will exceed many of our colleagues' capabilities and their strength in doing so.
Royal Mail says increased competition means they must adapt and modernise, and the union is just against change. They say we call upon the CWU to help us secure a strong future for the business and its customers, rather than repeatedly acting to undermine us.
This afternoon, workers in the King's Lynn delivery office announced they're planning strike action next week, and other centres in Essex will decide if they're going to join them. Felicity Simper, BBC Look East, Basildon.